from Hazard Esports. How do they follow it up? Vort Central and Solicit will at least try to follow that act. Somebody goes through into tomorrow's playoffs. The last spot will be filled here as Zaid almost scores early on.
Yeah.
And Vort Central getting a little taste of what Solicit is going to bring to the table.
We mentioned it in the last years as well. These are long days. It's very hard to describe what it does for you mentally. And you can even see in the consistency, gaming gamers, I mean, it could have just been the fact that the day has gone on for so long and they've just been playing Rocket League. Their play style starts to slip up a little bit. It's the stamina between these guys, how energized they can be. Coaches come into play a huge part, honestly, with keeping that morale up, making sure everybody's happy, and we'll see how that affects these teams and their consistency. As this one gets played out, Zaid, nice little shot from that beautiful midfield pass. Who was this in the corner? Yeezy, I believe. What a touch from him.
Yeah, that pass coming out of the corner, it is very difficult to defend, and you just kind of have to come out. You're defending against a penalty kick at that point, and it works out perfectly for Solicit. They draw first blood in game one.
Well, it seems a little bit like a simple pass, right? But the fact of the matter is that he could have gone for the corner boost. He could have easily just decided, I'm going to rotate in a little bit, be a little bit more aggressive, and obviously, you know, boost over ball. As this one, Vortex puts it in above the net. I'm not sure what happened on the defense here, Stacks.
Yeah, once you see somebody go up on the backboard and they don't come back with the ball, you're sitting on the ground just like, oh, well, okay, I guess this is in my net. And at this level, it certainly is. Vortex scores, and important for Vort Central to get that goal right back early.
So right off the bat, it's apparent that this is going to be another series where it's back and forth, which I'm excited for. You know, I love the reverse sweep game fives. I'm all here for it. We'll see if we get another long one here.
Snowy just a little slow to this as Yeezy trying to make his way downfield. Tango had to back off just a bit. Vortex takes over, and his shot's right there at Zaid. Zaid's going to call his own number. Flip reset. Well, you called it before it happened. Now Tango. It's almost like you've played this game at a high level before, Turtle.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it, Stacks. Every time you mention my career, if you can even call it that, how dare you? You roast it. You know, I don't appreciate
nothing but nice. I've
you know
been
what? Every
but
time
nice
Eddie Caster brings it up, it just hurts my feelings. But you're right. You know, there's a little bit of experience. And that's what I'm talking about with the mental aspect. Like in these long days where you've played 4 or 5 series, best of 5s, best of 7s, whatever it could be, you're going to be tired. I mean, this drains you. You got to make sure you're staying hydrated, all that good stuff. But a coach and somebody to boost your morale, so important here in the final few moments.
Well, especially a team like Vort Central, they had to go 5 games with Southern Stars last round just to stay alive in this tournament. And then you turn around and do it all over again. You get scored on early and you're just like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
Yeezy, he's got Cabo. Can he hit him? He cannot, but ball might still find him. Snowy had a tough time clearing that away, but he held with the play very nicely. Now Vortex up at the backboard, hoping a mistake comes out. Not much of one, as this will pop up and away. Cabo and Snowy collide. It'll be Yeezy clearing the ball downfield, and yet another attack repelled away for now. Snowy just couldn't get any pace behind that, and Zaid has an easy save and clear.
We're looking for more out of Snowy, Whenever he's on the offensive side, he receives that clear. He panicked a bit, flipped way too early when he could have controlled it, gone for maybe a flick attempt on net. The 1v1 potential was there, and yet he decided to just flick it out, go for an early shot. Didn't work out. This one could go in. Snowy on the offensive side tries to get a dunk, maybe even a touch on the ball would have worked, and yet he doesn't have anything. The pressure breaking down Vort Central's defense. Solicit, this is a good stance from them.
Yeah, this was Snowy getting bumped up in the air, too. That made that recovery just a little bit slower. He did all he could to try and get there, but the accuracy had to go lower right. He did. 2-1, Solicit back in front. Well, Tango narrowly avoided a demo. Created this opportunity for Snowy that Cabo sends away.
Wow, I feel like I'm getting flashbacks to the last series from Hazard. Right? They got so many pre-jumps, and now we see one. I think that was Cabo who got in front of the shot. A huge play. And I keep getting amazed by how early these guys can jump up. They see the shot. That went off the post. The best defender in the game is the post, Stacks. That's what we've seen.
I think the post is still ringing. That was a missile that deflected right off of it. but it does stay 2-1 in favor of Solicit. Snowy and Vortex, who's going to take over? Snowy just kind of made a mess of that, and Vortex had to try and bail him out. Now Tango will try. A little more sure-handed this time. Over to Vortex. His shot's high. Follow-up is a little delayed. Now it's Tango. Oh, that's brilliant. That is a selfless play, and it works to perfection.
Yeah, and it's even harder to be selfless in this situation when you come so close off the crossbar and you're thinking, I want to put another shot on as early as possible, but instead Snowy goes for that pass out, and the odds of scoring increase tenfold. What a play from Snowy to be selfless there, get that out in the midfield. Vort Central tie this one up.
Tango's waiting. There's a tough corner read, so he backs off. And Cabo was also all over it. Now Zayd, I think he collided with Cabo a little bit. Yeatsy should have this, and Zayd is still over there, looking to put one off the back wall, and it's right at Vortex. We remain tied inside 30 seconds. Buckle up, it's going to be yet another wild ride here in the 5th round. Cabo floater is just stopped by Snowy. Follow-up. Yeatsy, this is going to require a save, and Tango does bring it across. More importantly, out of harm's way, but still coming right back in. Cabo under the bar.
I love this offense from Solicit. We're seeing them put a lot of midfield shots on net, and you see Vort Central have to waste a lot of boost going up for those easy shots that they save out, but they're wasting boost. Everybody can grab the corners now on the offensive side when you're pushing in, and there's so much free time as that ball goes across. We see a nice little follow-up finish. Things looking good now on the side of Solicit.
This is Solicit's 3rd lead of game 1. Surely they've got to hold this one. Vortex, that second touch, I think, just doomed them, and it did, as nobody could get there in time. And Solicit, boy, they persevere through the opening game.
Well, I like how they mix it up. Sometimes whenever you're going for a lot of solo plays, which we saw out of them early on, and you change that up to earlier shots from the midfield, you make Vort Central have to get that save, that diving last effort. If they can't control it out of their own half right away, they're wasting more and more boost. And if you're Solicit, you just go take their boost. They're out of everything. They can't move up. They're going to double commit. There's going to be more space on the field. That's exactly what happened. And like I said, it started with solo play, solo air dribbles on a Solicit, but slowly transformed into a more passing orientated game, for them.
I think this has the potential to be a very, very high-scoring series. Both teams very aggressive around the face of the goal. They can create a little bit of chaos and take advantage of one little slip-up. It happened a few times in that first game. I can't wait to see what they do in game 2.
Yeah, and Vort Central, I don't want to discredit them. They had some good opportunities as well. And
sure
that selfless play from Snowy, that's what I look for out of a player who's coming up, maybe not, like we said, in the top 3 teams potentially, but he has the potential there if he's going to go for a selfless play. It means he understands the game, knows where he's valued, and knows where he can make his team have the at least highest probable outcome to get a goal. And that's what I like to see out of Snowy. So more plays like that, please. Vort Central, if they have the offense, they can transition a little bit better. I expect this to go to game 5 yet again.
Some of us older folks can certainly appreciate the selfless play of a guy like Snowy as well. 25 years old. I mean, in this thing, he's ancient. He's been around for a hot minute.
Yeah, 25.
You got to remain unbiased, but I'm just saying, old man TV over here.
Oh, I mean, he's keeping up. He's keeping up. That's what
he sure is.
I'm talking about. Yeah, and those passes too. Maybe if he doesn't have the mechanics up, he can stay in with the passes. I think of a player. While Turbo has some great mechanics, Turbo Pulse, so he's not the most mechanical player out there, but definitely one of the smartest. And it could be a similar route here for Snowy.
Zayd will try to bring this across for Solicit. They try to score early as they did in the first game. Tango is not going to get there. Everybody just kind of turned away from that for a moment. Snowy had a look at it, and I don't know what happened with Tango. He was stuck on the wall.
He was stuck on the wall, and he decided to turn to his left instead of the opposite way, which would have been a faster route to the net. Maybe he could have glided across using all that boost. It's not like he was completely starved. And that's just a weird situation for the defense of Vort, and one where you're a bit anxious and you're trying to get out of the net as fast as possible, but by moving around too much, you actually worsen your chance at getting a save. And even if the ball isn't, hit with a lot of power, that one still could slip in if it has the accuracy.
Here goes Snowy, trying to force one in front. It does go all the way across to Vortex. Nobody from Solicit really moved as that ball went across. Snowy will bring this one right back in. He's got Vortex waiting, but he may call his own number. No, I think he was trying to dish that off to Vortex, and it got blown up.
Yeah, I like the idea of going for a fake there, Snowy. Could have used his flip, too. I'm not sure why he didn't. Maybe a wave dash could have been incorporated there. Now off the backboard, Yeatsy can't get the clear. Snowy with the shot above the crossbar. Vortex comes in, doesn't get the shot, and now here's Tango. The follow-up doesn't work. Let's see what the transition game has for Solicit.
Yeah, Snowy just drove right by that ball. As it bounced out, wasn't expecting it to go exactly where it did. That was a good sequence from Vort Central. They're going to want a couple of those shots back. Cabo, full tank of boost. But this is right at Tango. Snowy had a tough time with it. Now Zaid needs somebody to come up and help him out. Instead, comes up empty. Snowy and Vortex, who's going to take over? It's Snowy. Now Vortex battling against Yeatsy on the side. This should be Solicit ball, and it certainly is.
Oh,
even though Yeatsy got demolished, he got slowed down, and Vortex will have to clear this away. Boy, Snowy did all he could to catch up to that.
Oh, and he didn't even need to touch the ball because it was just slightly off. All he had to do was get the demo early on, and that's what happened. Snowy took out the offender, the guy dribbling behind the ball, and it just rolled to the side. The post coming up clutch again for Vort Central.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh,
this
baby.
time to Snowy. Tango returns the favor after Snowy opened the goal up for him.
Oh, Tango, it's looking too clean. And he went for the fake, the little mind game. And right after the mind game, he hits it again because the defender on Solicit thinks after the mind game, he's going to keep it slow. But instead, a nice little pop out from Tango. Super fast, super speedy. There's no reaction time. That could be good enough to get a touch on that ball. We've got a tied up game.
Oh, here goes Tango. Oh, he was looking for Snowy, but Snowy was just a little far back. Snowy this time in the general direction of Tango, but he's going to have to back off, and Vortex at least forces Cabo to go over top. Snowy's got to get it clear here. He at least slows things down. This is right at him again, and that's at least good tandem defense to get this ball out of the zone, out of harm's way for now. Down to a minute 50. Vortex, big booming clear, but it goes right down the middle. So Snowy's going to look for boost, finding none at midfield. Still up with the play, however, as he at least sets that one up for Tango, and Cabo makes the save.
Yeah, good defense so far. We're seeing booming clears, and yet not a lot of reception on the other side, and that's because the defense out of Solicit, they are under so much pressure. Look at the 50 from Tango, winning it off the corner now of the map. They continue to have this pressure. Snowy up in the air. Let's see what he has. Not a double touch, but as long as he can keep it in their half, that's all that matters. Good pass out from Vortex, and they're keeping it on the side of Solicit, making them waste boost, going for demos here and there. We see now Tango looking for a piece of the goalkeeper. Nothing yet, but they are lurking for that goal to put them up.
Well, they couldn't get the ball, but they got the next best thing. They took Cabo off the ball, but that ball just rolled out into no man's land. Yeatsy throwing one up to the backboard, and now Vort Central having to kind of scramble just a little bit as the shot whistles a little bit wide from Zaid. Oh, the defense very lackluster right now from VC. Zaid almost punished them, and Tango will roll this out. That's a huge relief.
And that's one where we were looking at Snowy earlier on. He was selfless in the clutch moments of last game. Now, when Zaid is up in the air, he could have gone for a pass, but instead went for a shot. It's a little bit high and not what they expected or needed to get a goal on target. Still looking for the lead. It's Snowy to put it in the back of the net. We've been waiting for it. All that pressure makes the defense of Solicit collapse.
Yeah, Cabo, I don't know if he got spun out or what, but he was flipping around on the ground. He could not possibly get up the wall in time to get to that ball, and he was just in reverse the whole way, and Snowy put it almost right at him, still found the back of the net, and that's huge for Vort Central, as now they are 20 seconds away, now 15 seconds, from tying up this series. And they may even add some insurance. Yeatsy blocks the shot, and there's life for Solicit. With only 5 seconds left, they got to get this ball out.
Maybe.
Yeatsy had to pump the brakes for a moment. Little physical play puts away game 2.
Oh, yeah. It's too confident now out of everybody on the side of Vort Central. You can see them making the defender that was Zaid, actually, panic. He has to force it off the crossbar, go for a pinch. Doesn't work out his way. And we've got a nice follow-up now. Vort Central, 3-1. They're going to take this and look to the next game, build on this momentum. But if the script is right in the same way that it's been going all day, we're going to get a game 5 back and forth. Hopefully we see a nice little comeback. And you know what? I messed up, Stacks, because I decided to turn off my air conditioning because, you know, it was getting cold and it was getting chilly. I turned off the AC, and now I'm starting to sweat because this game is going to go to game 5, and it's so intense that I'm literally sitting here. I'm about to get drenched in stacks, okay?
You know, sometimes, like, we've seen this enough times that you almost wonder why we bother playing the first 4 games. It's almost like an appetizer because we know it's going to go to game 5. Two teams that have proven so far to be very evenly matched, but man, I gotta say, I am absolutely loving the passing out of Vort Central. I mean, you could put a highlight reel together just out of their passes from the first couple of games, and Solicit is having to work a lot to keep that ball out of their net.
When at first, I think we mentioned the fact that Snowy was being selfless, and we thought it was just him. We could discuss that and talk about how he was making great plays for his team, but it's really everybody. Vortex, Tango, they're all doing their part. I see Tango a lot of times going in for a demo. Vortex will kind of stand around as that third man to keep the pressure in and doesn't focus too much on putting a shot on net every time. He just cares about keeping possession and letting his teammates go back for boost. And it's the fact that all 3 of these players can be selfless, not worry too hard on the desperation fact of getting a goal, but instead keeping the pressure on and waiting for the mistake. That is the difference right now between these two teams.
Well, they got the demolition on Yeatsy, but he's going to be back and may have to contend with this after he grabs a full tank of boost, and he combines with Cabo to make the save. They're not done yet as Tango is coming up, but Yeatsy stopped that too. Fast and furious, both teams here in game 3. Trying to break a 1-all tie in the series. Snowy trying to chip over Zayd, unsuccessful. And Tango's got to bring this all the way back, and this is dangerous.
Oh, no.
He did a heck of a job centering the ball for Solicit.
Zayd flew by the ball as if he didn't know what was happening. I'm guessing he didn't expect Tango to miss, or at least not get a touch, but then Zayd just flew by. It's almost like he pre-jumped the shot. I'm not sure what even happened in that situation. If you're Zayd, you just forget about it and move on.
And short memory is here goes Yeatsy. Gotta have one, as so many things can change in an instant. That's wide, but it sets up Yeatsy. His shot still blocked by Tango. Now Snowy bullies his way through Cabo, who tries to get that back to Zayd. This rolls out to Vortex. They read it himself. No, he'll just steal the boost. Good disciplined play. Playing the long game here, trying to starve out Solicit. They can't keep the pressure on. This ends up back towards the Vort control net. Now who's going to take charge here? It's Zayd. Looking for Yeatsy. Just could not get the pass out.
The one thing I'm worried about is the goalkeeper's positioning on the side of Vort Central. While they've had good offense, good pressure, especially last game, seems like they're slipping up a bit, getting a bit sloppy on the defensive side whenever they want to position. They leave the net a little bit too early, and that's what's creating a couple of opportunities for Solicit. So if they're a little bit more patient, wait in net stronger, and have a little bit more time in that area, in that half, you have a better clear instead of just pushing out and you're just completely out of position.
Snowy to throw one up for Vortex. He waited a hot minute to go up for this. I think he was expecting somebody to have the clear.
Yeah.
Well, eventually they did, but now it's a mess. Tango at least kept us alive, but Snowy had driven by, and now a chance for Yeatsy. What if he should have left that for Zayd? He was starting to come onto that. Does at least get the ball, but it is cleared right back. I think this faster pace of play might be to Solicit's benefit. They almost score here as Vortex has to make the save, and they take Zayd out of the play. Could be a quick counterattack. Vortex let it get away from him. Tango in a little bit of trouble as Yeatsy flew right by him, and Tango make 2 big stops in a row.
Massive recovery from Tango in the net. He got the first touch and then was able to turn around and get the second one. Still, the shot going off the crossbar from Solicit. I've seen a couple of attempts now where the shooting, if it was just a little bit more powerful, a little bit more accurate, they would have walked away with a couple of goals at this point. The offense, the connection of passes, all there. We just need the final shot.
Zayd stopped by Vortex, and Tango made sure to get the ball as well, but who's going to go for this? Looked like 2 started to jump, but good call off, good communication from Vort Central. Tango gets this out to the middle, and Snowy's waiting there. Just comes up empty, but nobody went for the ball, so why not? Tango takes a shot. Oh,
and that
I can hear my old basketball coach going, just stop ball, stop ball.
Oh, wait, it was a weird play from Cabo, who was the one who was supposed to turn on the ball, but instead he went to the backboard, and that gave an opportunity to, I believe it was Tango, to go for a slower play, but instead just basically launched the ball off the backboard, wasted the opportunity. We're still tied up.
Snowy lets this go as Vortex has it all the way. And it does get right down to Zayd. Back and forth. Both teams just throwing jabs right now, waiting for someone to flinch. Who's going to make that critical mistake? It'll be amplified that much more when somebody goes on match point as the result. Zayd backflips away and lets Cabo take over. Cabo gonna have another look at this as Vortex, a little stutter move, and Tango makes the stop again with 23 seconds. Now Vort Central in a little bit of trouble. Vort's got to get rid of this. He does. Tango doesn't have much to work with, so Snowy's gonna have to get this clear, and finally does get to the center line. But boy, Vort Central was under a ton of pressure there. They had to barely manage, and now they almost steal the game at the end. They still have a chance. Vortex. Oh, Tango couldn't redirect in, and we go to a scoreless overtime somehow.
Almost got one there in the final seconds. Snowy in the corner. Now the kickoff. I feel like that is the most frequent goal we see in overtime. It's just a kickoff goal. That happens so much. They still managed to stay alive, Vort Central, but a double commit because Tango also jumped for that ball, but Snowy was able to get up again and get in front of the final shot on the side of Solicit.
Tango, backboard. Can he bring it back Central? No. And Vortex throws this right at Cabo. Got to get a little more creative than that. Zayd has Cabo charging, looking for a backboard rebound, but Vortex has the clear. Yeezy, drop down pass, and Tango intercepts. Boy, Zayd was right there. Now Snowy. Wily veteran almost broke through, but now Tango, full tank.
Oh, here we go.
Gotta get through Zayd. Needs someone to pass to, and he just didn't have anybody coming up in time. It still works out. Oh, Vortex got a couple looks, and Zayd and Cabo both made the stop.
Oh, and I feel bad for Tango. He worked so hard to get that ball in the midfield. He air dribbled it over one and then stuffed another player in front of the goal to force out another 50. It didn't go their way. The timing of when you use that flip, so crucial in those moments. It was Solicit who had the advantage, and they walk away by preventing that goal. Vort Central still with some solid pressure, and now it's getting overturned. The transition game from Solicit getting picked up.
Looked like there could have been numbers back the other way for Solicit, but they didn't have the boost to charge out down the field. So now Tango, he's in a tough spot against Cabo. Snowy at least got Cabo out of the way, and Tango, I think he did hit Vortex with that pass, but he didn't get out of the zone. Vortex still waiting with a full tank of boost at midfield. This could spring Vort Central downfield, but Tango had to get to that ball, had to win that challenge, and didn't. Vortex does get the clear, but they still cannot send Solicit away.
When we talked about this in the green, oh my goodness, the midfield hit. That was so clean. Now the final shot, there it is. Zayd, thank you for having the accuracy after that beautiful setup off the crossbar. Oh my goodness, if this didn't go in, Stacks, I would have been so mad.
Yeah, I feel bad for Vortex too. He's just sitting there in the back wall, just waiting. Like, okay, I can read this. Nope, out of my reach.
Yep.
And that is how OT ends. 1-0 to Solicit. Now they're 1 win away. And it's hard to imagine that after watching how well Vort Central managed them in game 2.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was a scoreless game, and Solicit's 1 game away from the playoff.
Well, I was telling you, I was mad if that didn't go in because we wouldn't be following the script of these past few games. It's just back and forth. One team takes one, the other will also follow up. We had a reverse sweep in the previous series. Now we come in here, Solicit versus Vort Central, each taking a game and then reversing it to the other team. And that one off the crossbar, we'll take another look at it. It was the follow-up and the positioning on the backboard. You feel bad for Vortex because there's not much he can do so long as the accuracy was there from Solicit, and it was, Stacks.
Boy, if you're just joining us, first of all, where have you been? Second of all, we're about to see Solicit make a little bit of history here.
Yeah.
March their way into the playoffs in the Oceania Major if they can deal with Vort Central. What I'm really saying is not a chance. We're obviously going to game 5, but enjoy the ride while we're here.
I was about to say, how can you go against what's already been written and predetermined, okay, Stacks? Obviously, Vort Central going to take this one if we go by the way the series has gone and that trend. But we'll actually see, because Solicit towards the end, they were getting a lot better pressure. I can see them overturning that script so long as they keep that accuracy up with the shots.
Oh, good pass over to Cabo, and we're seeing some of the extra passes come out now from Solicit. Big reason they were able to take the lead in this series is that saved away by Zaid. He was just there in the nick of time. Demolition by Tango. They were looking for another in the net, trying to take advantage of the chaos and confusion, and Tango just could not pull the trigger. And then Vortex got the demo, but he got slowed down. And then Cabo really was going downfield and then lost control of his car.
Oh, and he was going for a little dribble now out of defense, and it didn't really work because nobody was on the other side. I think both players looking for boosts on the side of Solicit, and we're seeing a much faster paced game, but also one that includes a lot more dribbles. And I also want to see more dribbles out of Vort Central. I think they're giving a lot of space from Solicit, and instead Vort Central panic a bit, throw this ball away, like right here, that clear, just given out right away, not even hit to a teammate. You need to be a little bit more thoughtful with your plays. Otherwise, Yeezy is going to take advantage with a slow-paced dribble, slots this one in.
Yeah, I think Tango's going to be kicking himself. He had turned off the ball on the initial drive downfield, and that gave Solicit a great opportunity near side that was barely missed, but you're not going to get lucky twice. Yeezy punishes Vort Central, and now the clock is ticking, 3.5 minutes.
Oh, can we just talk about it for a second? Just real quick, the touch from Yeezy, that first touch to keep it close, and how fast he got the second shot, or the second touch, which was a shot, the follow-up. It was literally within milliseconds that he pulled that off. Huge play from him, and that's one you need to make if you're sitting at match point and you want to take the series.
Vortex right at Cabo, and I think he was trying to steal some corner boost, but there was none to steal. Snowy trying to drop one down, goes right to Vortex, but Yeezy just shores up the defense on the near side. That got away from him, though. Tango trying to get up for the double. No, it's going to be saved away. Snowy blocked by Zaid. Vort Central not going away. Oh, Snowy got the pass out. He did his job, but nobody was there for it.
Oh, and I love the patience there from Yeezy, though. After he sees the mistakes out of Vort Central on offense, he sees space, knows he can get a solid flick, and look at all the time that's been wasted. We see Vortex doing the same thing, but it's met with a 50 and not nearly as good as a flick. But now here, over one defender, Vortex, the solo play, I was just talking about it, not going to work out in the end, but they've still got some pressure. Vort Central looking a bit better. Stacks, that one's missed, and it slips in. What happened here?
I think I just saw a team score goal with the least collective boost in RLCS history. They didn't have a whole lot to work with on their way downfield, and Snowy had to stay with the play because I think it was Vort or Tango was able to bring the ball downfield initially. So you're just like, well, we're here. And then that goes in. Opportunity comes knocking. Vort answers. And they're right back in this game and series, and they're about to take the lead. No, it's saved away.
Oh, we're seeing such awkward space been given up now to Vort Central, where they have a lot of time to work with what they've got, a lot of time to think about their next move, maybe go for a pass off the backboard, multiple situations and different avenues they can go for, because Solicit are a little bit stagnant on defense, and it's the demos too now, physical play getting incorporated. This could be a nightmare for Solicit to handle.
Zaid. Oh, this is a great challenge by Snowy, at least slows everything down, and Tango now gonna have a tough time out of the corner. Yeetsy's got to have this, and he does, out of harm's way to the side, but they're Snowy. Here comes Vort Central again. Nobody up on the backboard. An open backboard is an open net. Squared, I see you out there. Tango gives Vort Central the lead.
Oh, no. I'm looking at Cabo right here, who is rotating just a little bit slow, and also Zaid. One of them needs to go, like you said, on the backboard. If you leave that unattended, you're basically giving away a free goal, a free shot to Vort Central. In these clutch moments, the script, it's writing itself. We're going back in favor of Vort Central, and they've got to take this game. Unless Zaid gets a bump, which he does in midfield, this could be a chance now for Solicit over one defender, Cabo. It's too easy. He puts it in all tied up here, Stacks.
Yeah, the collision in midfield, and then Snowy, instead of going back, he went for the bump play, and Cabo has free reign, 2-2. That physical play works out for Solicit this time. All the ebbs and flows you expect out of a fifth-round series.
Oh, the
There's
speed.
still plenty more to come as that one's just wide. Follow-up now from Cabo. Vortex thought about going to the backboard. Instead, comes out flat and makes the stop.
The speed from Zaid in the midfield, that was huge. That's what's kept all this pressure now. It still hasn't gone to their own defensive end since kickoff. Tango space with a dribble. Lots of space to work with. Yeezy getting bumped, and he's going for a little flick. Doesn't get it. And now 50 after 50. Both defenses trying to keep this one out.
Tango going after this. No, but that's right on Snowy's lap. Can he take advantage? No, but he can still follow this up and steal some boost. Vortex's drive is just wide. Look how quickly they get downfield. Solicit. We're threatening, but another quality clear slows him down. There's Tango denied by Zaid.
When he's waiting for the pass now from Yeezy, but it doesn't come out. He just goes for a solo play. I'm not sure if I like that one better because the pass option was there. In these final moments, you are so nervous. Making that right decision and also being aggressive is so difficult to do because you don't want to get scored on and throw in the final moments or have your defense even tested as this one off the backboard, but it's cleared away by, I believe that was Vortex.
Vortex is up for this. This will touch down, and why not? Why don't we just go to game 4 and
Let's do it.
Go into overtime?
Yes, sir. And this
Word's
scary.
hard.
Okay, the kickoff didn't go. Okay, that's what I always look at.
Right.
In terms
that's
of overtime.
That's what I always like.
Yeah, just as long as the kickoff is there, we're gonna get a long overtime.
Well, maybe not. It's a decent setup. Tango bringing this to the corner. Yeezy will at least stay with the play up to the ceiling and just dumps this off to the corner. Keeps the attack alive at least. And Vortex has to make the stop. Boy, it is clutch up time for, both squads, but especially for Vort Central. Snowy, his shot easily stopped by Cabo, well out in front. And Vortex had to get that clear because Cabo took Tango off the field.
It is a mess in the defense. Sorry to cut you off. It's just a mess in the defense of Vort Central. We're looking at the play right now. This is in the middle. It's back in favor of Vort Central. There we go from the corner. Vortex just bounced it off the corner right to Snowy. The precision of timing that bounce. We're basically in geometry class now, Stacks. That's all I can say.
That was such a slowly developing play that after the fast pace of the last minute and a half of regulation, I'm sure the Solicit defense was just like, wait, that went in? Oh, boy.
And it's so difficult, too, whenever you push up into that side of the offense where you're in the corners and you need to get that touch out into the midfield. Whenever you push it off the corner, you have to hit it perfectly. That could bounce up and you give the other team a free counterattack. It could go and stay to the wall and then you give them a free clear. So many different ways that could have gone, but because he hit it so well executed and just the finesse was there, it bounced out into the middle the best way you could possibly hope for. Vort Central forced the game 5. That was an action-packed game, Stacks. I think we saw a lot more shots than we've seen basically the whole series.
Well, here we go. We told you. How long ago did we tell you about game 2? We just said, look, we're playing these games.
We don't make the rules.
We're going to game 5. This will be determined on Champions Field. There were 3 series in this round. They all came to this point. Reverse sweeps from Cowabunga and from Hazard. And now another classic unfolded between Vort Central and Solicit. And it's Vort out in front first.
Oh, Tango, the vision. He's waiting for Zaid's hit instead of going aggressive mode and just pushing up, trying to force a 50 against Zaid. He waits for that touch, bounces that one into the middle. It's another pass that's just fantastic, and it could have gone horribly wrong had it been intercepted, but no, Vort Central keep possession, keep control, and they've got a goal.
The elder statesman of the squad leads all scorers now with his 5th goal. This goes deep into the zone yet again. Yeezy at least stalling for time and letting that ball get away from him a little bit. Now Zaid, backboard, waterfall down, nobody could read it. Tango or Vort, who's going to take charge? It will be Vort. And Tango is just kind of waiting patiently, so he has to go scramble for the ball, and Demolition certainly helped their efforts. But now Yeezy up top, looking to set up Cabo. Zaid was coming up, but he has to just dish this off to the side. And here comes Vort Central again, and well, they might have scored if not for the efforts of Yeezy.
Oh, and good speed there, too, to break out of your own defense and get in front of the ball, but we're not seeing them bounce it off the backboard as much, which is what I want to see. That's what Vort Central abused in the previous game, hitting it off the backboard. Huge clears where the other team couldn't even react in time. And now Solicit, they need to do the same thing. They've got to find the space on the backboard to set your teammates up. If you can't find the midfield passing, at least go for the backboard.
Yeatsy up for this one as well. He has been all over the place.
There we go, there we go.
And it sets this up for Zayd, and we're tied back up.
Off the backboard, indeed. Yeatsy, nice little pass out in the midfield. And Cabo booms it. That follow-up touch, Vort Central, all their defensive line didn't expect it. Didn't expect that rotation across. Nice little pass out. We've got it tied up. 3 minutes and 22 seconds left. This is exactly what we expected. Just back and forth the whole time, Stags.
Wouldn't have it any other way, as it comes down to one game to put one of these teams into the top 8 playoffs and leave the other wondering, man, what might have been. Snowy, blocked by Yeatsy. And Tango's got to run all the way back, and he may be all by himself as Vortex at least tried to run interference. And Tango does make the stop. I'd like to think Vortex's play off the ball certainly helped.
Yeah, that touch from Vortex was crucial to relieve that pressure and make sure the follow-up shot wasn't there. Now, Snowy, good rotation. That kind of hurt them earlier where you rotated towards the wall instead of back into the net. This time, Snowy making up for that.
Tango over to Snowy. Important to use your teammates as you try to clear the zone and try not to do too much yourself in a high-pressure situation. Yeatsy, drop-down shot, and it's saved by Tango, but Yeatsy's still there, and Vortex has to get back as well.
Oh, that's another hit from Yeatsy where I think he could have gone off the backboard instead of the direct middle pass, but nobody was waiting. So give your teammates a bit more time. If you bang it off the backboard, that ball has a little bit more hang time. You're going to have one of your teammates recover a bit and then get boost, go for the shot. But we're still all tied up here. 2 minutes left. I'm not sure who's going to take this one. In terms of possession, it seems like Solicit have Vort Central, beat. But at the end of the day, one counterattack could be the difference.
Could be one breakaway, one lucky or skillful shot could end it all. Zayd tried to chase down that ball off the backboard. Couldn't get to it. Couldn't get a bump either. Tango's in a real tough spot.
Oh.
And this is off the post and in as Zayd finishes the job.
Oh my goodness, I need to go to Yeatsy's perspective. From whenever he got that flick in the corner and then followed it up so fast. He's so good at getting that first touch, keeping it close to him. That's what happened earlier with that shot where he had a nice little touch in the previous game. He does it again in Game 5, the most crucial moment. They lead now 2-1. You've just got to stall out and focus on your clears at this point, Stacks.
Oh, Vortex with physical play barreling through on the kickoff. He tied up 2 defenders just off the ball. You see he got Cabo got Yeatsy, and then Vortex finishes it himself. What a play.
Oh, that's so frustrating too. Yeatsy, I was watching his perspective. He had absolutely no idea. There is nothing you can do whenever your teammate gets bumped into you. You can't predict that. You can't dodge it. You can't even see it because it happened behind you. So unfortunate from Yeatsy, but the physical plays from Vort Central, that is massive now as we're all tied up.
Yeatsy right downfield to relieve a lot of pressure that could have been built there by Vort Central. They try to ride a little wave of momentum. Vort barely got a piece of that as well. Cabo back to Zayd, and Tango got there first. Great read, great instinct, and now a great shot that's blocked by Yeatsy, only barely.
Oh, that's another pre-jump. These teams, especially in OCE, I've noticed the pre-jumps have been fantastic. So fun to watch. It's another one from Yeatsy, saves it out. Time is running down now for both teams, so we might get an overtime. Game 5. I'd love to see it.
Yeatsy has other plans, as does the rest of Solicit. They're on the attack here with 30 seconds. Not for long. Vortex, it's Tango, and there's Cabo with the clear. You'll get credit for his save, but it was over the bar. Yeatsy, oh, he can stay with this. Dancing through the air, and Snowy breaks up the play. Vortex does well, avoids a demo. Snowy to win it! He does, with 7 seconds left!
Vortex snipes Snowy. On the other side, I mentioned it, it comes down to one counterattack, the little pass out, and he led Snowy. So beautiful. That was like painting a picture that you just gotta hang up on your wall. The pass was so nice. Oh my goodness, Vortex, he clutched it out. Now the final moments, just drop this one down. You take Game 5, Vort Central in the final moments. One pass, one shot, and they win.
All these young kids, get off Snowy's lawn. I love it.
Oh.
What a performance. What is that, 6 goals? Yeah, 6 goals, 3 assists as Snowy and Vort Central march into the playoffs. What a show.
I was talking about a painting, but like I feel like I need, one of those, what is it, the frames that you can get a photo of where it's like an animation. It's one of those electronic frames. That's what I need.
Yes.
I need that just looping that pass because of how nice it looked. He led Snowy so perfectly to come in with all the power. If I could just get a gif of that looping on my dining room table, I'll be happy, Stags.
An inspiration to us all. Hey, Gibbs, it's not too late. It's not too late. Snowy did it. You
Gibbs
can
is coming back. The return of Gibbs. Let's go.
The return of the king.
Yeah.
Boy, what a performance, though. Congratulations to Vort Central as they march their way into tomorrow's playoffs in stunning, dramatic fashion. Snowy, the game winner. Boys at the desk, back to you.